The report is now here. It has dropped, and it might not have produced everything of what some Republicans hoped for. It is, regardless, devastating to the FBI, and to a degree, it does exonerate Donald Trump.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chawanne Burns. Today, we're going to talk about the FBI report that's just dropped. They're saying it clears Donald Trump. It was an unnecessary investigation. It was a waste of taxpayers' money. That was CNN. Jake Tapper is acknowledging that the investigation basically clears Donald Trump from Russian collusion. Okay, this made up fictional thing that they're saying Donald Trump was colluding with Russia, it was all made up. It's been made up, but people keep on talking about it and beating this dead horse, but it was all made up. Okay, so we're going to get into it.
All 300 plus pages, Ellie. The bottom line, Durham has found that the FBI, in his view, should never have launched a full-blown investigation into relationships or allegations of relationships between Trump and his associates in his campaign and the Russian government. What's your response?
Well, Jake, there's no surprise in that conclusion. It was really sort of a foregone conclusion from the start. Let's remember how John Durham came to be special counsel. In the middle of 2019, when Mueller concluded his investigation, Donald Trump was taking to Twitter regularly saying, all caps, investigate the investigators. And shortly thereafter, Bill Barr appointed John Durham to do this investigation. And there was a really important and I think revealing moment. In December of 2019, DOJ's own Inspector General came out with the finding that, yes, the FBI made several missteps, and Durham seizes on some of these as well. However, there was ample ground to open an investigation. And right away, John Durham came out with a public statement and said, I disagree with that. That was 3 and change years ago, Jake. So it doesn't mean Durham's findings are valid or invalid, but there's absolutely no surprise that he's come out where he has.
Okay, so this is on BBC's website. Durham Report, FBI criticized by special counsel for Trump-Russia inquiry. A long-awaited report has strongly criticized the FBI's handling of its investigation into alleged ties between Russia and the 2016 Trump campaign. In this 306-page report, special counsel John Durham said the agency's inquiry had lacked analytical rigor. So they just fly by basically what I read is they just flew by the seat of their handle. Hey, Trump is guilty of this Russia collusion, so we're going to launch an investigation without doing any investigation themselves. That's what I see. He concluded that the FBI had not possessed the actual evidence of collusion between Donald Trump campaign and Russia before launching any inquiry. Okay, so in the report, Mr. Durham, who was appointed by the Attorney General William Barr in 2019, accused the FBI of acting on raw, unanalyzed, and uncorroborated intelligence. What did I say? They flew flew by the seat of their handle. Okay, they just said, oh, Donald Trump he has to be guilty because he's building I think he was building a hotel in Russia somewhere. I think it was Prague. So he has to be guilty, right? Among the investigation mistakes it made were repeated instances of confirmation biases in which it ignored information that undercut the initial premise of the investigation. The report noted significant differences in the way the FBI had handled the Trump investigation when compared with other potential sensitive inquiries, such those involving his 2016 electoral rival Hillary Clinton. So he noted that Mrs. Clinton and others have received defensive briefings from the FBI aimed at those who may be targets of nefarious activities by foreign powers. Mr. Trump had not. I wonder if Biden was on that list. The Department of Justice and the FBI failed to uphold their important mission to strictly fidelity to the law, the report concluded. In the statement that the FBI said it had already implemented dozens of corrective action. Really? So now you implemented a dozen of corrective actions after you knew that you launched an investigation that had no grounds to investigate. Like I said, Donald Trump, a lot of people don't like him because of him being very boisterous and I say charismatic. A lot of people don't like him. And since he's not a politician, we need to be investigating these politicians that have been in office for 30, 40 years. Those are the ones who's going to be dirty and have political ties and have something to lose or gain. I don't believe Donald Trump has anything to lose or gain with being elected into the office because he's not dirty like the other people that's been in office for years. The FBI investigation into alleged ties between Trump campaign and Russia, which was carried out in special counsel Robert Mueller, led to dozens of criminal charges against Trump campaign staff and associates for crimes, including computer hacking and financial crime. It did not, however, find the Trump campaign and Russia had conspired together to influence the election. Writing on his campaign on his social media platform, Truth Social, Mr. Trump said Durham Report showed that the American public was scammed. He cited the report's conclusion that there have not been enough evidence to warrant a full investigation by the FBI. Mr. Trump has long claimed the members of the deep state are targeting him unfairly. They are targeting him unfairly. Last year, Mr. Trump said he believed that Durham Report will provide evidence of really bad, evil, unlawful, and unconstitutional activities and reveal corruption at a level never seen before in our country. The Durham Report falls short of the blockbuster revelations and prosecutions that some Trump allies hope for from the inquiry. So you could say Durham, he was bipartisan in his approach when investigating because he didn't come out with, oh, look at this, look what I found against somebody else. No, he found that it was no just cause for them to investigate Donald Trump, and he stuck to that. He thought he would have found something else, but he didn't. The former president cited some court filings by Durham team as part of the lawsuit he filed against Mrs. Clinton and several other Democrats and government officials, alleging that he plotted to undermine the 2016 presidential bid by spreading rumors about the campaign ties to Russia. The judge dismissed the lawsuit as frivolous. I don't think it's frivolous. That's basically defamation of character. And ordered Mr. Trump to pay nearly $1 million in penalties. I think that was unjust for Trump. Once they found out there was no Russian collusion and they basically ruined his name or tried to smear his name, I would suggest that Donald Trump files defamation suit against the people who were spreading these lies about him. Put that in the chat. Do you think Donald Trump has a suit against defamation of character, or is that just a part of running for political office? They're allowed to smear and spread lies about you. That's not true. Okay. Shortly after the news that the report will be publicly released, House Judiciary Committee Jim Jordan announced that he will be calling the U.S. former attorney to testify before Congress about his work because they're mad. They're mad. They're mad that they didn't find anything. They didn't find a golden nugget to prosecute Donald Trump. Well, that's it for our video. Let me know in the chat what you think. Do you think Donald Trump should go after all the parties that were smearing his name, lying about he had any involvement with Russia? You know, that's a real strong lie to tell on somebody to persuade the election. And actually the election prevailed, was held up, but you know, the American people actually voted him in. I'm sending all my good to you. I will talk to you soon.